President Donald Trump has announced a decisive move by implementing tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico under IEEPA measures this morning. The tariffs are designed to counter the extraordinary threats posed by unchecked drug trafficking and severe public health challenges across America today. Canada and Mexico were given ample opportunity to address dangerous cartel activities and the influx of lethal drugs, yet failed decisively, unfortunately. Contraband drugs, especially potent fentanyl, continue to flow into the United States, intensifying a national emergency and escalating public health crises rapidly. The Mexican government has inadvertently provided safe havens for cartels, facilitating the manufacture and transportation of dangerous narcotics into America, across borders. Violent Mexican cartels, particularly the Sinaloa and Jalisco groups, maintain clandestine labs and ruthless control over vast territories in Mexico with brutality. Illicitly produced fentanyl is distributed in various forms, including powders and counterfeit pills, endangering countless American lives daily in a devastating manner. 77% of drug seizures at the US-Mexico border involve fentanyl, highlighting the scale of this critical issue, as statistics consistently reveal. Cartel violence escalates with the use of armed drones, roadside improvised explosive devices, and brutal confrontations near border areas, threatening national security. The alliance between cartels and elements within the Mexican government compromises U.S. national security and undermines efforts to combat illicit drug networks. Recent intelligence reports reveal an alarming increase in Mexican cartel activities, targeting both law enforcement and rival criminal organizations with unprecedented ferocity. Disturbingly, Mexican cartels now operate synthesis labs for fentanyl and nitazene within Canadian borders, complicating North American drug enforcement, raising cross-border concerns. A recent study highlights Canada's surge in domestic fentanyl production, marking a significant escalation in international narcotics distribution, threatening regional stability profoundly. Canada-based drug trafficking networks operate robust superlabs in rural areas, producing massive quantities of fentanyl on a weekly basis as documented. Last year's northern border fentanyl seizures, though lower than those at the southern border, posed a grave threat to public safety significantly. First 4 months of this fiscal year have witnessed rapidly increasing fentanyl seizures at Canada's northern border, nearing previous annual totals dramatically. Both Canada and Mexico have failed to take decisive measures against traffickers, jeopardizing the safety and security of the United States urgently. The unprecedented threat from international narcotics demands immediate IEEPA action to enforce accountability and protect American citizens' lives with uncompromising resolve, decisively. President Trump is steadfast in his promise to secure U.S. borders and halt the influx of illegal aliens and dangerous drugs firmly. When voters elected him, they entrusted President Trump with a mandate to close open borders and restore American sovereignty without compromise today. Critics argue that Biden administration policies have exacerbated border crises, resulting in unprecedented numbers of illegal aliens entering the country increasingly rapidly. Under Biden's leadership, more than 10 million illegal aliens attempted entry into the United States, straining national infrastructure and public services severely. Encounters at the northern border with Canada are also rising, further complicating an already volatile immigration landscape and intensifying regional border tensions. The continuous influx of illegal aliens impacts every facet of American life, including education, employment, healthcare, and housing, further straining limited resources. Overcrowded schools and hospitals, lower wages, and scarce housing are direct consequences of this uncontrolled migration, which devastates communities across America profoundly. Criminal gangs, smugglers, human traffickers, and narcotics organizations exploit border vulnerabilities to smuggle drugs and people into communities, fueling systemic lawlessness nationwide. Customs and Border Protection officials apprehended over 21,000 pounds of fentanyl last fiscal year at U.S. borders, according to official reports. These fentanyl seizures alone represent a potentially lethal quantity capable of causing billions of overdose deaths, as horrifying statistics have demonstrated recently. Since 2023, the DEA has seized thousands of kilograms of fentanyl pills and powders at both southern and northern border checkpoints notably. Fentanyl remains the leading cause of drug overdose deaths in the United States, overshadowing other illicit substances as confirmed by CDC data. In 2022 and 2023, synthetic opioids accounted for nearly 70% of drug poisoning deaths nationwide. A staggering public health crisis alarming. Experts estimate that only a fraction of the smuggled fentanyl is intercepted by federal officials along the southern border, resulting in losses. Tragically, more Americans now die from fentanyl overdoses annually than the total fatalities of the Vietnam War, as historical data grimly confirms. Building on past successes, President Trump continues to prioritize U.S. trade policies that protect national interests and promote security with unwavering commitment. In his presidential memorandum on American First Trade Policy, Trump emphasized that trade is a vital element of national security beyond doubt. Last November, he vowed to impose a 25% tariff on all products from Mexico and Canada until border issues ceased completely. This tariff, as Trump stated, will remain in effect until drugs and illegal aliens no longer threaten American communities, ensuring lasting protection. During his first term, President Trump established the Commission on Combating Drug Addiction and the Opioid Crisis to address the epidemic decisively. Trump's aggressive trade stance is not new. His administration previously leveraged tariffs to secure our borders and protect domestic industries with resolve. When global oversupply of steel and aluminum threatened national security, President Trump swiftly enacted tariffs on these imports to protect American jobs. His decisive actions have consistently placed American interests above international trade pressures and untamed foreign influences, ensuring prosperity and secure sovereignty today. The imposition of these tariffs signals a broader strategy to combat illicit drug flows and stem the tide of illegal immigration firmly. This multifaceted approach addresses both economic vulnerabilities and the critical challenges of national security by uniting trade enforcement with rigorous border control. Each policy decision reflects an enduring commitment to protect American workers, families, and communities from external threats, ensuring safety and economic vitality. The strategic tariffs serve as a powerful reminder that national security and economic integrity are inextricably linked in today's complex global environment. Critics remain vocal, arguing that the tariffs may escalate trade tensions and provoke retaliatory measures from affected nations, undermining global economic stability. Nevertheless, supporters claim that these measures are essential to restoring America's rightful position in global trade and security while promoting national pride. International partners watch closely as these tariffs reshape economic policies and redefine the dynamics of North American trade with significant geopolitical implications. Debates over these tariffs have ignited fierce discussions among policymakers, economists, and international trade experts, highlighting conflicting views on national security broadly. Political analysts predict that these tariffs will serve as a precedent for future actions in protecting American economic interests if strategically applied. Legislators on both sides of the aisle are scrutinizing the broader implications of Trump's tariff policy on international relations with careful deliberation. Diplomatic channels are abuzz with concerns that retaliatory tariffs from Canada and Mexico could disrupt long-established economic alliances, sparking urgent international debates. While tensions remain high, proponents argue that tough measures are necessary to reclaim America's control over its borders, ensuring long-term national stability. Observers note that President Trump's tariff strategy intertwines economic policy with a robust national security agenda to safeguard America's future prosperity decisively. This strategic fusion of trade and security measures marks a turning point in U.S. foreign and domestic policy, reshaping America's global posture. Media coverage has intensified as the nation watches President Trump's decisive use of tariffs to counter multifaceted threats with unwavering national resolve. Lawmakers and citizens alike are now engaged in a critical debate over the balance between security and economic freedom in passionate discussions. The unfolding narrative reflects a broader political realignment, where national security imperatives increasingly shape economic policies, driving transformative change across America profoundly. The news narrative concludes here, naturally leaving the audience to reflect on the profound political and economic shifts unfolding, leaving no farewell